everybody, it's Kristen Bean Sullivan with Garden Gate Magazine, and I'm here today with Eric Flynn, the Executive Art Director at Garden Gate. We're here today with this nice fall container that he put together for our cover, and I just thought I'd ask him a few questions because he makes some really great containers every fall, and I'd just like to get some tips.
Oh, well, thank you. And welcome to the garden this morning. It's such a nice fall day, a little bit windy, but
it is nice. This is a beautiful day.
Yeah.
We'll hope we don't blow away pretty soon here. This is a calm moment. We'll take it. So first of all, I wanted to ask you a few questions about this container. It has this really pretty rusty patina on it, and it looks old. Is this an old container?
Actually, no. We just got it a couple weeks ago from allmodern.com, and it's Corten steel, which you typically think of as having that rusty patina.
Right.
But come to find out, when you buy it, it comes raw in the manufactured state, the silvery color. And but the trick is, or the tip there is that you can leave it out in the weather to get this look over time, or in a day or two with a mixture of hydrogen peroxide, vinegar, and salt, and about 6 to 10 applications with a spray bottle. It instantly starts to rust up like this, and, and gets that really nice patina.
So you can almost watch it happen.
Yep.
That's fun. So I noticed that we've been most of our shots with this container have been in the border instead of on a patio. It looks gorgeous in the border. I think that's really great. What were the kind of the reasons for that?
Sure. Well, because of the Corten steel and the rust, with watering it and rain and the elements, it's going to continue to rust more, and that's going to leach down onto the surface, and we didn't want to stain the concrete.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So you've got it sitting here on a couple of bricks to level it up in the border, and it looks gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. So I noticed that there are several plants in this container. The combination is really pretty with all these different blooming plants, and I love the spikes of the celosia with the daisy shapes of the Rudbeckia and the coneflower and the coreopsis and the bidens, and it's just all the textures and colors is really pretty. So, but I noticed that there are some things that wouldn't normally grow together in a container that I planted in the summer, for example. So the fern, for example, is more of a shade plant, and the celosia is more of a sun plant. How do you mitigate that?
Sure, and I think that's totally true. But given that it's fall, and then we know that this container is probably only going to be here for like 4 to 6 week period.
Right.
And also knowing that the temperatures are cooler and the sun is a lot lower in the southern sky, we're just not going to get the intense heat and light that we would, in the middle of July. So I think we're going to be fine with the combination that we have, and which is the nice thing about that is it really opens up the things that you can do this time of year with the different textures mixing things that maybe go into different situations. You
can just really have fun with the design, not think about the practical stuff that you might have to earlier in the year. Now the succulent, I'm assuming that this container has drainage holes, is that right?
Yep, it came with the drainage hole.
And so, but even so, succulents usually they usually require less water than, say, coneflowers and Rudbeckias.
Correct.
How are you working that out?
Well, I think definitely, typically you probably, especially if you're planting it in the ground, it would be in a different soil situation and water situation than some of these other perennials and annuals. But I think with container gardening, if you start with a really well-drained potting mix, that kind of mitigates most of your drainage and watering issues.
True.
Overall. And if you're giving this whole container a good dose of water, maybe you just skip that part a little bit.
Don't water that side so frequently.
Much.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's so pretty. I also noticed that the container's pretty shallow. Did you have a hard time packing all these plants in?
Well, yeah, it was a challenge to get it all to fit. And typically, especially if you were going to grow perennials like the coneflower and stuff in a container all season long, you'd probably want a container that's probably 12 to 14 inches deep, so the roots really had room to establish and get going. But both the grass and the coneflower came in a little bit larger pot, but you could tell at the garden center that maybe they had just gotten moved up a few weeks ago.
From a smaller
So there
pot.
wasn't quite the root ball in there that that you might have thought after you took it out.
That
of the
worked
pot.
to your favor this
and,
time.
you know, by teasing the roots out a bit and whatnot, it was easy to get everything to fit at the level that it is. And I think, you know, surprisingly, this pot held quite a bit of initial potting mix before I started adding the plants. So I think there's going to be plenty of room for things to settle in and the roots to start to spread around a little bit.
It's really beautiful. I love all the colors and textures. So you always do great fall pots, both for Garden Gate and I know at your own house too. What are some of your go-to kind of design techniques and practical tips?
Well, first I'd say just get out there and shop, because you know, this time of year, you kind of never know what you're going to find.
Right.
It's not as predictable as, you know, hitting the garden center in May when it's
Right.
just packed with everything. So, so get out there and shop. And I'd say, one, as we mentioned, don't stay away from the perennial aisle. A lot of times this time of year, garden centers will have in really nice specimens that are showing a little bit of bloom and whatnot. And some interesting textures like the sedges and stuff. So don't stay away from the perennial aisle, and just know that you might spend a little bit more on like a gallon-sized perennial, but the good news is after this container has had a couple frosts and it's ready to be taken apart, we'll just pop those in the ground and they'll be great next season. And you know, here in Iowa, we probably won't see the ground freeze hard until mid-December. So, you know, the perennials will have a good time, or a good amount of time to get established in the ground even after the first frost.
If they have 4 to 6 weeks or so before the ground freezes,
fine.
so we're good.
Especially really hardy things like the grass and the coneflower.
Yeah,
so.
They'll be just fine. What about any tips on buying annuals in the fall? What they should look like?
You know, like the perennials, you know, they're in bloom and there's a few buds on there, but we'll probably never see those. So you want to make sure that those look the way you want them to look for the container.
Right. Yeah.
But the annuals, like the Bidens, well, and even the mum, which is a perennial, but you know we're treating it like an annual. I'm looking for things that are just starting to break bud, or maybe have a little bit of flower. And you can see that there's a lot of new buds on here, and with the mum, they're really starting to open up. But when I bought that, they were all pretty in tight bud with just a little bit of color showing. And actually, I thought that one was going to be the deeper red like the Rebecca, and it's opening up more of this rusty
still
kind
works.
of red-orange, but it's still pretty with the container.
Yeah, so. It is pretty. It's pretty. And then I noticed you have a rubber plant in here too, a house plant.
Sure. Yeah, don't be afraid of houseplants. You know, as I mentioned before, I like to shop the whole garden center, and you can find some really fun stuff in the indoor gardening section. And you know, plants like this rubber plant aren't going to like it when the temperatures get down into the low 30s, but they're going to do just fine in the cooler weather. And you know, right before frost, we maybe pop that out, and you can bring that inside. But they just offer such a they broaden your palette of textures and the sheen of the leaves and things. It just really like plays well off against the you know, the more traditional foliage of the annuals and the perennials.
I think you're right. It's a great addition. Eric, thanks for sharing all of your tips and secrets for making this container and all the other great fall containers you've done. This one looks just beautiful.
Oh, you're welcome. And I am so happy with the way the photo shoot came out. It looks really good in the new issue.
It does.
Hi, I'm Jack from Garden Gate Magazine. I hope you enjoyed our video. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel and press the bell to get notified each time we upload a new video. You'll get content with useful gardening tips, design ideas, and how-to help for all levels of gardeners. I especially enjoy the garden tours and talks with fellow gardeners across the country. Be sure to follow us on all of our social platforms. You can see the list below. Thanks for watching.